Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Aaron here again with some more maintenance, RV maintenance. If you've been watching the channel for any time, you know that I can't keep my hands clean. I love tearing stuff apart and fixing stuff, so today we're doing some brake and bearing work again with my buddy Tommy. Had some wore out brake shoes on his fifth wheel, so we're doing brakes, bearings, drums, everything. We got about 50% of the project done, but I wanted to show you guys a little bit of it just to give you some pointers and tips and to show you this isn't as daunting as you might think. If you're unsure about doing this yourself, please call a professional, get somebody out to help you. But we'll give you a few tips and pointers today, and you can take it and run with it. All right? First, I want to show you his existing drums. You can see the brake pads are, they're shot. This coach doesn't have that many miles on it, but they actually had a company relocate the RV for them at one point, and we think that maybe the guy wasn't sure how to hook up the brake. He drug the shoes right off of them, so we're replacing all that mess today. I'm going to pack this rear bearing, and I'm going to fit it in here. So that's what I'm going to show you right now. And then we're going to tap in the grease seal on the back, and then we'll run over to the other side of the coach. Tommy's over there taking the wheels and tires off now, and we'll go over there and install these drums and get the brake set installed, and we'll show you a little bit of that too. Alright, so we're just going to use a high temp grease. This is a premium, I believe it's a synthetic blend, but we just got this at the auto parts store. And we're going to take a dab of this like this, put it in our hand, and then, if I can find the bearing, I'll put it in here. Then we're going to take this bearing and we're going to pack it like this. And you want to pack it with grease until you see grease come up inside the bearing right here, inside the cage. So, I don't know if you can see that or not, but you can kind of see the grease coming up through there. That's what we want. You can see, I've got grease coming up out of here, nice and tightly packed. This is a cone-shaped bearing, so it's going to go down in like this. We're going to put it right there, just like that. Then we got the task of cleaning off these hands. So next step is to install this grease seal. Now this keeps the grease from coming back through the axle and leaking out of the back of the drum. And you have to be very careful with these, because if you drive a hammer or if you use a punch or anything on this, this is very thin metal and it will bend and you'll ruin the seal. So what I like to do is set it in, kind of push it down and get it as tight as you can, as flush as you can. I'm going to use an old bearing race just because I have it. I'm going to set it on top of the seal like this. Now, they do make a tool that you can rent at my auto parts store anyway, that you can drive these in with. It makes it easier, but we don't have that with us today, so I'm going to use a block of wood, set it on that old race. I'm just going to tap it. Try to tap it evenly. You just want to tap it until it's flush. Right here, flush with this edge. Now this one is still not quite flush. I'm just going to coax it a little bit until it's flat. There we go. So it's nice and flush. We didn't dent or damage the seal. It's all still intact. With this, we can toss away. That was an old race that we don't need. And now we're ready to install this on the coach. Alright, center cap. And one note, this should not be packed with grease like this. So this is actually overpacked, which could cause the bearings to overheat. So keep that in mind when you're packing your bearings. Alright, try to get this as clean as I can. This one actually has a cotter key, so we're going to pull the cotter key out. Some models have cotter keys and some don't. So we're going to pull this one out. Like so. Cotter key pulled out. And it's going to go in the trash because we got a new cotter key with the new brake set. So this nut should be finger loose. We're going to pull it off. We're going to put it on some paper towel so it doesn't get dirty. And we'll have to go through and clean all these parts off. Yeah, so clean that up. Set it up here on this tire. These paper towels. Like that. Alright, now you've got a washer in here. Just a flat washer. You can get it out. Just like that. Flat washer. Clean it off. We're going to reuse the washer and the nut. We'll put that with the nut. Then we're going to pop this drum off, and when we pull it off, this outer bearing is going to pop out. So watch it for that, and don't let it fall on the floor. There we go. So there's our outer bearing. This we're going to get rid of because we're replacing the bearings with new ones. So I'm just going to set this aside. Okay. And then we can go ahead and pull this drum completely off. Like that. Now, you can see in here our inner bearing and our seal that we replaced on the new drum. So this drum is toast. It's badly chewed up right in here. Very badly chewed up, so we're throwing these away. You can kind of see right here. I mean, the brake pads are missing. They're completely wore off. You really should check these about once a year. You should check your bearings once a year, make sure they're properly greased. In this case, they were checked, but we determined that the tow service may have had the brakes locked up when they moved this thing, because that's definitely premature wear. Next, we're going to remove this backing plate. We bought the backing plate with the shoes already mounted to it. So we'll take the whole backing plate off and replace it with a new one. These are electric brakes, so you have the electric brake magnet here. There are two wires that come out of the rear of the backing plate. Right here are the two wires. They come out of the rear, and these have to be cut. And the new ones will have to be spliced on. And you can see here are the wires coming out of the coach, and these two wires go into this brake shoe. So we're going to clip these off, and when we install the new one again, we'll have to splice the new wires back in. Alright, so we're going to pull off these 5 nuts that hold this backing plate in place, and then the whole thing will come off. Now these are studs, so you don't have to worry about the back. You just pull the nut off the front, and we'll reuse these nuts. Okay, so we got these 5 nuts off. Now we're going to pull this forward, just like that, and the entire backing plate will come forward. We're just going to clip these now. Polarity doesn't matter on these. It's 12 volt DC. and this is a magnet, so as long as you energized it, it'll work. The polarity's not important, so yeah, you don't really have to worry about matching red to white, black to white, whatever. That. Now our washer goes back on. The nut. So we're going to use a torque wrench to torque this nut, which is going to seat our bearing, and then we're going to back it off because it shouldn't be too tight. Remember when we took it apart, this was finger loose, so we're going to get it back to that state here as soon as we set these bearings. There we go. And then without turning the drum, we're just going to back it off like that. And then just turn it tight enough to get the cotter pin in. We got a new cotter pin. Thanks to my lovely assistant.
Thank you.
And where are those pliers? Over there. Thank you, sir. Pull this down a little bit. Just like that. Bend this pin around. It's pretty soft, so there we go. And all that really does is keep this nut from backing off. So there we go, all done. These are a little tight. Maybe we'll check them before we button this thing back up. We'll adjust the brakes, but all right, give me that grease gun. We'll grease this one up.
There it is.
All right, there's that. And then we can put the cap back on. There we go, all done. New bearings, new drums, new brakes. Don't forget to connect your electrical connection. Don't over grease these because they'll get hot. And what else? You might have to do a little adjustment. This is a self-adjusting version, so when you back the trailer up and stop, they should adjust themselves, but I like to make sure they got just a little bit of drag like this when you put the wheel back on. So that's about it. We're gonna put these tires back on. We're gonna do the last one, and then we'll wrap it up for the day. All right, got him all set up, new brakes, new drums. Everything checks good. We tested the brakes, they're all good. So hopefully you were able to get a couple pointers out of this video. Again, if you don't trust yourself to do it, no problem. Just make sure you hire someone who does know what they're doing and get you on the road safe. Nothing more important than your safety towing down the road. Thanks again for watching. Thanks for helping our channel grow. Please subscribe, leave a comment, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks again. Safe travels. Bye. Thanks for checking out our latest video. If you liked the video, give us a thumbs up. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. And while you're at it, click on the little bell to get notifications every time we upload a new video. Thanks again.